Catholic Versus Archive. This archive puts together some of the final thoughts. I couldn't include everyone, but I made a selection. And there's a wide variety of attitudes, moods, perspectives, and I just left in the part where they introduce themselves with their name and their worldview, and then I fast forward right to the end where they give their final thought.
Hello, I'm Jacques, and you're listening to Catholic versus Catholic. I would encourage anyone to be nourished by the Word of God and to build your house on the rock. And this is a reference to Luke 6:48 and Matthew 7:25, where it says that hearing the Word of God and responding to it in the right way is building your house on a rock that won't be destroyed.
Hi, my name is Thomas, and you're listening to Catholic versus Catholic. I would say God is real, heaven is real, the Catholic Church is the true church, but it's not as easy to find as it once was.
Hello, this is Stephen, and you're listening to Catholic versus Catholic. I think one of the most wonderful things about being Catholic is that it orients my entire world and it orients my universe. When good things happen, when bad things happen, when strange things happen, it all is within this universe, this creation that God has given us. And I think that when you see something beautiful that was created, there is a straight line that connects from this moment all the way back to the beginning of creation. And I know that my universe makes sense because it comes from a place of order. And so apart from Christianity, apart from the discussion that we've had today and what people might be interested in, this sort of larger question of why we're here and what we're doing, it all comes from this place of love, that God did not need us. God does not need us. He's doing this from a place of love, and that's staggering. And it helps keep us grateful, but it also, I think, helps put things in perspective, right? I told you before the show that I was suffering from a bit of a cough and a cold, and thankfully it didn't come out too much during our conversation today. But when you understand the beauty of creation, things like colds, coughs, sickness, setbacks at work, difficulties in relationships, challenges with your family, these all get put in perspective. And without that, I would understand it. It must be fairly dark to try to understand everything from a position of chaos. But everything has a place, an order, and a reason for existing, including yourself. And I challenge you as a listener to discover that.
Hi, my name is Antonio, and you're listening to Catholic versus Catholic. Well, I would say, pray the rosary, not the luminous mysteries. You can pray it on your fingers if you don't have a rosary. Because if you've got a rosary, it's better, but it's the prayers that count. And I'd wear the brown scapular as well, of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, and the miraculous medal. And for those who are not yet baptised, or wear the green scapular for conversion. It will lead you towards the Catholic Church.
Hi, I'm Pope Michael, and you're listening to Catholic versus Catholic. The main message of the apocalypse is that God wins in the end, and his church wins in the end. In fact, St. John Eudes reports that all the fathers of the church are in agreement that after the death of Antichrist, the whole world will convert and become Catholic. And what's more hopeful than that? When we're all striving to do God's will and we're all on the same page, when we're all in agreement on the important things, such as the matters of faith, just think what a wonderful world that will be.
Hi, this is Maggie, and you're listening to Catholic versus Catholic. I guess if I had to say one thing to somebody, it would be that they have to believe in their own intrinsic value, the value that they have an immortal soul, and that God wants them with him forever. John 3:16, he gave his only begotten Son for you individually, for me individually. He would have gone through the entire passion just for you. And if that doesn't give us hope of the goodness of God and how much he wants us with him, then I don't know what would.
Hi, my name's Chris Fleming, and you're listening to Catholic versus Catholic. Well, with respect to depression and low moods, one of the things that you can end up thinking is that, I'm never going to feel good again. My life is never going to be right again. That basically what I'm facing is the darkness of today played out into all eternity. I guess the thing to realize is that's a symptom. Hope is not an unfounded thing. I don't think it's a form of optimism. I think it really is a form of realism. There is a way of living on and living through these things, and part of it just requires persistence and some faith that things can turn right, and the fact is that they do.
I'm Keith Ross, and you are listening to Catholic versus Protestant. I'm not much of a preacher, but I would say, as Shakespeare said, "This above all to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man." Polonius's advice to Laertes.
Be yourself.
Yeah. And know yourself. And trust in the Lord.
Hi, I'm Dan, and you're listening to Catholic versus Protestant. Look, there is always hope. You can get into a very dark place very quickly, but to have a glimmer of hope means they have something inside. It's that spark. Maybe it's not a flame, but it's a spark. If this podcast can't be a blessing to somebody, then I pray that at least it's an inspiration. Because sometimes a spark with just a little fan will turn into something so fast because the kindling is already there. They've got to a place where they don't see the possibility of fire anymore. But it just takes, and that thing flames, and these people will see things and they will understand things. Look, if you see a light, it's because there's a light there. And if there's a light there, focus on the light. Don't get involved in the darkness. The brighter the light gets, the closer you get to God, to Source, to the Creator, to whatever we call it, that can take you places that you never thought you could go. And I think that's the purpose of a podcast like this. It's not to tell you what's right and wrong. It's not to tell you that you should do this or should do that. It's to say, hey folks, this is where I found it. Where did you find it? Oh, you haven't found it? Would you like to find it? And as we know, the truth shall make you free and shall set you free, and every other version of it. There's a reason why truth is a gift. And this podcast, I believe, is filled with a trove of gifts for those that might be in a dark place, those that are willing to just say, this is enough. People, you want to see my medical records? I'll tell you what's enough. When you can't get out of bed with the medication, you're done, man. And I remember sitting in a car, I can end on this. I remember sitting in my car going, I've had it. I'm done. I'm not getting out. I'm not doing anything anymore. I've had it. Like, really, Lord? This is where I am? And I remember the only thing I could think of, again, God bless her, I called my mom and she talked me off the ledge, so to speak. And it was like, it's okay. You can feel what you're feeling. We all feel darkness. We all feel alone. We feel disconnected. But it's temporary, folks. Or it can be, because it is a choice in the end. God bless you for this.
Hi, my name is Thoth Harris, and this is Catholic versus Protestant. Life is extremely dark. It so often seems hopeless. Sometimes it goes away with time. But time isn't everything. There are people around you. Sometimes it seems like they don't care. But you have no idea how much your presence is going to be missed. When you have a big tree in your backyard and you depend on that tree for shade, for coolness, for comfort, for the birds to be near, and someone cuts down that tree is gone forever. And the people that are responsible for taking away that tree are going to feel that same emptiness. The world is so interconnected. Everybody needs everything that's there. We all need each other. With every action of bad faith, we completely destroy that connection. And it's really a terrible thing to do. So let's stay together, stick together. No matter what tiny connection you might have, it's necessary to hold on to it. Don't demand anything of it. But if the passion is there, don't be afraid to show that passion. Feel that emotion, feel the connection that's there. Because we're there. Don't let go. Don't let go.
Hello, my name is Jerry White, and you're listening to Catholic versus Protestant. I would say don't seek after religion. We want to know the truth. I think most people in life want to know the truth. And so, if you're out there and you're disillusioned by things in your life, whether it's religion or maybe you got hurt in a church you're going to, or just things in your family life or work or whatever, my advice is to simply call out. I mean, there's no other way to communicate to something outside of us than to use the facilities that we have, which is our words that we have. So, God can hear. And we don't have to even know what God is exactly or who he is. I think he will answer that call as he did for me. If you're just honest and straightforward, just come to him and say, I want to know the truth, and then leave it at that. It may be months, it may be weeks, it may be years, but eventually God will answer that call if it's something that's deep from within and it's heartfelt.
Hi, my name is Stefan, and you're listening to Catholic versus Atheist. Just relax, and just try to help other people. Try to lead a good, honest life, be helpful, and, your life will be over soon enough anyways, right? Make the best of it while you're here, right? And try to save the planet. That's the big worry for me, is that this planet's going to implode. That's what we've got to avoid, a lot more than figuring out if I should be a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or a whatever, right? This planet, this is the ark. It's all we got.
Hi, I'm Lucy, and you're listening to Catholic versus Atheist. As I've been doing this research in existentialism, which I hate a lot, but one of the philosophies, it's Albert Camus, and it's that suicide is the only truly significant philosophical question. And the idea there is that before anything else matters, you must decide that life is worth living or not worth living. And from my point of view, if we live our lives in a way that is the most beneficial to everyone, there is nothing better that we can do. That is the absolute best, because, we are the universe briefly expressed as a person. So, we may as well make the best contribution that we can. And I think that is the heart of every religion, to be a valuable member of society. And so I think that no matter what your greater beliefs are, if you can do that, then you've met the goal.
Hi, I'm Uzi, and you are listening to Catholic versus Atheist. Believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, you have lost half the battle already. You gotta start setting small goals and restructure your strength. And if you lose all your goals, you're gonna get weaker. And if you keep changing path, you will never arrive to your goal. Even if you lose a battle, you should never give up on the war. You gotta come back tomorrow and fight it again. And stop believing in imaginary because you will never find peace in that.
Hi, my name is Tzvi, and you're listening to Catholic versus Atheist. I think at this point, I don't see how negative thoughts and fears are going to help us at all. And I think we really need to find ways to become more resilient as a society and help one another, like learn how to recognize that we're all going to be struggling and we are struggling, and find ways to work through that the best that we can. And I think we have a lot of change ahead of us, and it's going to be very, very difficult. And, we try to be, hope for the best, basically. Like, I think that's all we can do, and help one another, never take anything for granted that, just because today you might have a lot and someone that doesn't have a little, things can change very quickly, and what people have is not a reflection of who they are. We're all people, and we all need to recognize the beauty in one another.
Hi, this is Sean Maxwell, and you're listening to Catholic versus Atheist. Your feelings and other people's feelings matter. In acting such that you improve the lives of others, you will improve your own life. In giving to others and caring for others, you will feel love and find love. The world is unfair. Some people get a bad deck of cards, even though they're good. It takes great character and enormous effort to, faced with a bad deck of cards, nonetheless follow Jesus' good example and turn the other cheek and go back again and face the world with love and respect and care for others. But in doing so, you will improve your chance in the card game of life. You will find that those bad cards are better played than you might have imagined. It is through love for others, care and concern for the feelings of others, that we find the love that we seek. That's what I'd say.
Hi, I'm Kavneet Singh. You're listening to Catholic versus Sikh. Well, what I would say is definitely get to know your real enemies in life. Our enemies are not humans or people. Real enemies are lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. Whenever you feel sad, whenever you feel depressed or stressed, it's going to be linked to one of those 5 vices or a collection of those 5 vices. And what's happening is that your mind is currently a slave to those 5, one of those or all of those 5 vices. And the whole world, by the way, is diseased with those 5 vices. And just try to recognize that at least, and then try to pinpoint which one of those 5 is causing me the greatest harm. And then try to do the 3 basic principles, which is, close your eyes, whatever religion you are, and just say God's name. Whatever God is to you. Even if you don't know how to pray, just close your eyes and meditate the way you know. Number 1. And try to do that even if you can do it 2 minutes a day, 1 minute a day, and slowly, gradually increase on a daily basis. That would be excellent, and you'll see a change. Number 2, go out there and help others, right? By helping others, you're helping yourself. So help others in a selfless way, whichever way it is, whether it's charity, whether, helping somebody that needs that help. And number 3, to try your best to work hard in whatever that is and put real effort into it and leave the rest to God.
Hi, I'm Sanata Vihari, Los Angeles, and you're listening to Catholic versus Buddhist. If you know anything from your experience in this world, is that nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever, not even the worst time. So you can take refuge in this kind of flux and impermanent state of the world. Good times are coming. You just have to endure. You have to be diligent, and you will make it. You have the strength, and this too will pass.
Hi, this is Natalie, and you're listening to Catholic versus Jew. I would just tell them to keep learning, keep reading, and to be good, and to make wise decisions. And learning and being good is great, and it can help you love. Be good and learn, and by being good and doing good things and thinking, it's proven chemically that it's good for you with serotonin and other hormones. And I think this is probably more the path to God and to love than things that are absolute. And, it says Jews have to do 613 mitzvot. But I think that non-Jews are doing these mitzvot too, even though they're not Jews. And some non-Jews are more Jewish than Jews, you can say. I don't know if there's one real path, but I know that the more you learn and the more you do good, I just know that feels really good. And I'm sure God feels really good too.
Hi, I'm Dr. Abraham Weisfeld, and you're listening to Catholic versus Jew. Humans are a social animal, and humans like to be in the company of other humans. And humans love other humans. The basic tendency is for humans to love one another. The reason why there is alienation in society is because of an imposition that is contrary to the natural tendency of human nature. Now, to be happier, one should become conscious of the factors that are being imposed upon one's life that are contrary to one's human nature. Once one becomes conscious of these contrary tendencies and impositions, one can overcome them with one's own consciousness, and therefore overcome the fears that one has, the neuroses that one has, and be able to approach other people in a social manner that will open up a whole avenue of life that one didn't think was possible previously.
Hi, my name is Jana, and you're listening to Catholic versus Jew. Well, I think I would just say something going off of, what you said. I would say trust. Trust life. Trust where your life is leading you. Trust God. Trust. That's what I would say.
Hi, this is Ben, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other.
I would say try centering your life on love, see how it works for you. A lot of people find that the more love you give, the more love you get back. I recommend trying that. If you get a lot of satisfaction from being selfish, I recommend trying to be generous. Just try it. I think it'll be worth it. Try centering your life on love, justice, and community. And let me know how it goes.
My name's Anthony Green, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. Keep asking questions. Don't take the easy answers. In your own way, keep looking, keep asking questions. Don't be satisfied. And that's the closest thing that I can get to what is the core of our human struggle. We are so lucky to be born in the 20th century and living in the 21st century with all these creature comforts, but our struggle continues. Let's build some better technology. Let's make life better for everybody. But these unanswered questions, they've been haunting us for 50,000 years, and they're going to haunt us for another 50,000 if, God willing, we keep living for another 50,000. But they're going to be with us. This is what drives us forward. Ultimately, it's what drives technology forward. Ultimately, it's what drives society forward. It's what drives human rights forward. Is at the heart of it is asking, what is a good life? What is a better life? How can I be better to myself? How can I be better to others? And the root of that is asking constantly the tough questions. If I die tomorrow, what was the value of my life? If I die 50 years from now, what is the value of my life? What is the value of your life? It's one thing to ask, what is the value of my life? What is the value of other people's lives? That's an even harder question to answer. As a solipsist, I'm aiming that at you. Right? Yeah. How can you prove the value of other people's lives? Well, they can give things to you that you don't have implicitly. And that's why, as much as I shy away from other people, I still kind of need them. But don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. Keep challenging. Keep asking questions. I don't know if we're going to colonize the galaxy or if we're going to die in a nuclear holocaust 10 years from now. But let's hope we keep growing. Life. This is the one thing that I gained from you. Life for life's sake. You're either pro-life or you're against life. If you're against life, you're going to be very unhappy. If If you're pro-life, you're going to be very unhappy, but at least you'll be working towards something. Hi, my name is Ivan. You're listening to Catholic versus Other. I think everyone's on their own journey. And they will encounter the people, the books, the traditions that they encounter. If I were to offer advice based on my personal experience, is take it somewhat lightly. Enjoy the striving. Respect other people's strivings. You know, understand that they're doing their best, kind of like the same way you're doing your best. And go maybe a little bit easier on you and a little bit easier on them, knowing that we're all trying our best and we're on our path. I believe in the genuine goodness of people, that people don't want to hurt other people. They genuinely want other people to be well, and they want themselves to be well. So be kind towards yourself and others on your path, whatever that path may be. And it's likely going to be a winding road. Enjoy the twists and turns. Who knows what comes next, you know? Revel in the mystery. Dig it. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Rossner, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. We've come to this earth with a very specific goal, purpose, and mission, that the Lord is in us, around us, to the right of us, to the front of us, back of us, and that if we can learn to go deep within, we will realize that we are not alone, that the Lord is with us, and that the Lord has called us to do the very best that we can. And above all, to realize that our footsteps are numbered, our breaths are numbered, and that one day we shall be called to go home. And when the roll is called up yonder, we must be ready. We must learn how to die. You have to learn to die to be able to really live. So we must understand that life goes on after the change called death. And I want everybody to know that God is a loving God and that He hears us and He answers our call, our prayers.
Hey, what's up? This is Chris Dyer, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. Again, I believe life is what you create from it. So if you're living life from a point where your beliefs, can make you unhappy, then you're going to create an unhappy life. But if your beliefs allow you to create anything at all, like that's my belief, I think I'm unlimited on what I could manifest for myself, to some degree. And there's where I got to be like, well, don't manifest too much or you'll never have time to go to sleep. So yeah, you got power. Everybody's got power. It's in your hands, and just do it. That's what I'd say.
Hi, I'm Dan Berman. You're listening to Catholic versus Other. Don't do things to others that you wouldn't want done to you. And sure, there's a lot of injustice. There's a lot of stupid and incompetent and unfair people. A lot of things that may revolt you. There are ways to deal with those. They take time. And there's other people who think that way too, so it's a good thing to associate with them and to find a way to resolve those problems, but it doesn't have to be peaceful. What I mean is don't use weapons, don't enlist in the army, but demonstrations, public speaking, and so on. That's important, even on Facebook, because people read it. If you get a negative reaction, if you get insults from somebody, well, you hit the spot, it was worth it, and you can block that person anyway. So we don't have that many means at our disposal, but we have quite a lot. And if we look at the way kings and rulers lived 200 years ago, 100 years ago, we live much better than they do. We have access to much more information. We can do much more things than they did. We are the kings.
Hi, my name is Sharon Shanti, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. Well, I would say open your mind. Accept yourself, accept people around you, spread love. We need it so much. You know, there's a lot of media, negative coverage. Just judge for yourself. Anything you do in life, just make sure it's coming from you, because we're stained, you know, with the education and the society where we grow up, the school, family, workplace, where sometimes we have ideals and values that are not really ours. So try to find what's truly yours. We know what's ours when it sparks something in us, you know. So when something sparks something in you and it's positive, just explore it.
Hi, I'm Irina, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. Life is wonderful, and even though there's a lot of despair, there's a lot of, negativity surrounding me, we can choose to see that as our enemy, that all the demons in this world could be our enemy, or we can choose to look at them and say, for the time being, they're our guides. If Trump got elected, it just means that there's something we have to look at. There's a sickness in our society, and it's inevitable. We can't, it's like a cancer. It's like the cancer in our society that keeps growing and growing, and we can't get away from it. But we can observe it, and we can accept it, and then true answers come when we stay in that compassionate and accepting frame of mind. So I don't think we're doomed. Maybe some of us are doomed. Maybe some cancers of our society are going to eat us up. Who knows? But I think it's all about staying present and compassionate and loving, and accepting what is as it is, and accepting that it'll pass and it'll change.
Hi, this is Ursula, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. I would say to anyone who's listening, if you have a fear in your life, look at what that fear is, and instead of being afraid, be grateful. And whenever you feel angry, or you feel sad, or you feel desperation, instead try to feel love. And everything that you do it out of compassion and empathy, and try to be the best person and the highest form of yourself that you could be at all times. And if there's people in your life who you think take away from that, then maybe you shouldn't be hanging around them too much, because you have to protect yourself a little bit too.
Hi, I'm Nikki, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. Things are going really hard. I know I'm personally going through a hard time. There's strength in vulnerability, and just stay strong and just believe that if you wake up tomorrow, it's probably going to be a good day and it's a good start, and just enjoy the moment.
Hi, this is Pikers, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. It gets better, guys. It gets better. It really does. If you're out there and you're feeling like you don't have anything, or you don't feel like life is going anywhere, get help. Find a good psychiatrist and get help.
Hi, everybody. This is Diabolically Informative, and you are listening to Catholic versus Other. Well, anything that I could say is always going to be colored by my experiences. But if I could say something, sub specie eternitatis, as Spinoza says, I would say that there is always more that you can do. There is always more that you can become. Don't worry about the people that have said that you couldn't do something. Don't worry about the people who have said that you don't have any hope. You always have hope when you take hope in yourself, when you even take responsibility for yourself. And sometimes you may also need others to help you do it. If you don't have a community, go and find one, go and develop one. And always seek after rationality, always seek after your emotional development, always seek after new lessons. And never give up on yourself.
Hi, this is Robbie Dillon, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. Not too long ago, I was having suicidal thoughts, and because that's part of the problem of being a philosopher, especially an existentialist philosopher, is it's very hard to find a meaning for life. So I just decided, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go in my spoon and fork drawer. I said, well, I'm going to wipe off all these spoons and forks, and I'm going to put the spoons in the spoon slot, and I'm going to put the forks in the fork slot. And that was really all I wanted to do that day. That was my big project for the day, because I've been through this before. But when I was finished, I looked at the drawer, and I felt just a little bit better. So I thought, well, let me look in the next drawer, and the next drawer is full of menus from the takeout restaurant. And I said, I got all these disgusting menus, all this disgusting food that I'm going to order. I'm going to eat it to try and make myself feel better, but then I'm going to feel like crap because I ate all this crappy takeout food. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take all these menus, most of them are out of date anyways, I'm going to throw them all in the garbage. And then, and then I'm going to rearrange that drawer. It's full of menus, and maybe throw out a few things that don't belong in there. And now I have 2 drawers that are clean. And over the next couple of weeks, I rearranged my whole house and cleaned it all up, and suddenly with each little thing that I did, it made me feel a little bit better, and it also gave me a little bit of motivation to go on because I saw the results. So yeah, I would say to anyone, you're feeling pretty hopeless, just think, what one little thing could I do, one little thing to make myself feel a little better? Rearrange your sock drawer, fold some t-shirts, put some clothes in the laundry. And you'd be surprised how quickly that snowballs and that steamrolls, and things just get better and better.
Hi, my name is Yigal, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. I would say that whether you believe in a religion or not, it's very important to remember to trust your eyes and ears and heart as well, not just philosophically thinking about things, but that there's a lot of good in the world, that the world is more good than evil. The good part is easier to go to if you know how to do it. And there's always a way out. There's so many different ways to live a life. If the way you're living isn't working, there's so many different ways to try. There's not one right way. You just have to find the way that works for you and that can give you some happiness and comfort. And that if your religion or your non-religion is not working and you've tried everything you can to make it work, it's okay to kind of switch teams halfway through and try something new. And I'll just from a personal experience, I found the thing that helped me the most was actually helping other people. It's when I started doing volunteer work, and it kind of saved me in a weird way. And I always recommend it to everybody that when you're at your lowest and darkest, if you help somebody else, it's like a weird medicine. Because you don't feel so alone anymore. You don't feel so nothingness. You start feeling connections to people. A way to save yourself and everybody else is to build those connections with other people, because that's the only thing that we really have control over at the end of the day.
Hi, I'm Tino, and you're listening to Catholic versus Other. Take one of your daily rituals and don't do them anymore, and I would say don't switch your TV on when it's news time. Skip the news, please.
Hi there. You like this one. Hi there. My name is Mitch Hyman, and you're listening to Catholic versus David is making me describe myself as other. I don't know. I mean, look, people, I sort of feel in a proselytic way. I think, if you ask me, is life worth living? I suppose I'd say, why not? I mean, what else are we going to do with life but live it? And so, again, Nietzsche says, what does conscience tell you? It wants you to, it commands you to become the person that you are, and that's not an easy thing all the time. And in fact, sometimes it's a very difficult thing. But that's the thing that we all have to do. life and reality is sort of constructed that way. And just how we come to understand it, this journey, we all come to understand it with different words in different ways, but I think that this is the thing that everyone does. And anyhow, I don't know.
If you have any feedback that you want to leave, if you have any impressions, feel free to comment on the YouTube page or on the SoundCloud page, or you can send me an email. You can email me at david@cvs-podcast.com. C for Catholic, VS for versus, CVS. I'm always interested to hear feedback, what you have to say, and I'm always looking for new guests. If you or someone you know would make an interesting guest, please get in touch. That's it. Thanks a lot for listening. Talk to you soon.